Howdy, and it's Cloud going back to the channel. Same, if you ain't check out my last video, make sure you go check out my last video. Also, subscribe if you enjoy your stay out of your day. It's gonna be a lot more Marvel videos coming. I'm gonna be reacting to some of the interviews and stuff that I sometimes come across too, because I think some of these interviews could be a little interesting and give us some insight on what might be happening in the backgrounds that they're not telling us in the front court, you know what I'm saying? But today, we got a video from the Cosmic Wonder. Avengers Doomsday script update, 2 new scenes, and production change.
The Avengers Doomsday script still is not complete, and we are now hearing that the production timeline for Avengers Doomsday has changed as well. And if the script is still not yet complete, it makes sense that they would have changed the production timeline at least by a little bit. We also have a report about 2 different new scenes being filmed on the set of Avengers Doomsday right now, one of which might kind of tell us the fate of the Fantastic Four. And the other scene that people are talking about, I think, is actually being very misunderstood for what it actually is. But we'll break it all down. Now, right away, a lot of people seem to be very worried about this new report about the Russo Brothers and Stephen McFeely not having completed the final script for Avengers Doomsday. A lot of people...
I'm not surprised they're not done with it, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm pretty sure a lot of companies, you know, take what I'm saying with a grain of salt, you know what I'm saying, or with a bucket of salt. I'm pretty sure some companies start production before they finish the script, because them being able to kind of see their script live, you know what I mean, it kind of gives them an idea like how good their script is, you know what I'm saying. They get to see it play out, you know what I'm saying. It helps them finish it actually, you know what I'm saying. So I'm pretty sure a lot of companies do it, and I'm pretty sure Marvel done it a lot of times, you know what I'm saying, before. So this ain't really a big issue, I don't think, but it does beg the question: what do they change, and what did they keep out that would have been like groundbreaking type shit? You know what I mean?
People are saying that this isn't good, but it's actually pretty in line with how the Russo Brothers typically operate, and Marvel Studios as well, to be honest. So while this might not sound good on the surface, let's talk about why this isn't necessarily a bad thing, and how it's not actually that different than what the Russo Brothers did with Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame. According to the insider Daniel Richman, Marvel Studios apparently has not figured out how to wrap up the movie yet. The third act, the big finale, isn't not figured out. According to the insider Daniel Richman, Marvel Studios apparently has not figured out how to wrap up the movie yet. The third act, the big finale, isn't locked in yet. Apparently there is no clear answer on why, but it wouldn't be the first time that Marvel started shooting before the full script was ready. In fact, Marvel does this a lot. But Daniel RPK says they still don't have the third act figured out for Doomsday. The insider My Time to Shine Hello also...
The third act. So how much of the movie is written down already? Like an hour worth, 2 hours worth, 45 minutes, 5 minutes?
Stated yesterday on X, just heard some really concerning news about Avengers Doomsday, which we are assuming is somewhat related to the same thing, the third act. Now, this has actually been kind of a highly debated topic recently. Should studios start filming a movie or a show before the script is complete? James Gunn, now co-head of DC Studios, said that they're not going to do this unless they have a script. He stated, "We won't greenlight a film until we have finished a script we're happy with, and in general won't cast until the script is finished." A lot of people think that this is the right way to go. And we knew before, thanks to previous reports, that the Russo brothers and Stephen McFeely hadn't completed the script for Avengers Doomsday when the filming started. And this news came out a little bit after James Gunn made his comments about not greenlighting a film until the script is finished. Now, that doesn't mean that there can't be rewrites or reshoots or...
I'm not gonna lie, bro. James Gunn deserves a lot of respect. You know what I'm saying? I ain't seen the Superman movie. I've seen his other movies, Rise of the Guardians of the Galaxy. I really hope I got that title right, bro, because I think I got it wrong. Because I was gonna say, bro, that title makes me up. But I love that movie, bro. I loved all of them. You know what I'm saying? So when James Gunn speak, I will listen. You know, he's very good at making very long movies. You know, and That's why I'm like, dang, when he left Marvel and he, became the head of DC, ain't no shade, you know what I'm saying? You gotta do what you gotta do, big boss moves, you know what I'm saying? But I really do feel like we can use James Gunn right now, you know what I'm saying? Like we could use his stories, because these are gonna be long movies, and we know James Gunn has successfully made very long movies for Marvel. You know what I mean? So I feel like his expertise is needed.
Can't just change something that they realize could be better in the moment, but typically it probably is better to know how the entirety of your film is going to play out, at least generally, before you start filming. But here's the thing. Here's why it's not really that bad, at least in this specific instance for Doomsday.
See, I love DC, but I ain't been seeing no channels that give me news, nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? I ain't really been, ain't really too much news like to report. Like you can report on all the shows and stuff like that. That's what I've been thinking about doing. Cause right now I'm watching Arrow. You know what I'm saying? Like I was watching before, I'm rewatching because I ain't watched in a long time. I just like watched a lot of Flash. I'm on like the 5th, 6th season. Whenever the tape guy came in, whatever season that is, you know what I'm saying? Now I'm on the Arrow thing. I'm watching some of that. And I plan on watching the Supergirl series too. And then I'm watching some of the Marvel, bro. I just finished Ironheart, which I still gotta give y'all a video on, bro. It's a lot to do, bro. It's a lot to do.
The Russo Brothers and Stephen McFeely. This is pretty much what they did for Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame. They didn't have fully completed scripts going into Infinity War, and we heard a lot about changes they made very last minute to Avengers Endgame. However, regardless of this, we got 2 of the best comic book movies of all time, despite the scripts not being finalized before they went into production. So the Russo Brothers and Stephen McFeely know how to write and direct great superhero films. I mean, really, if you think about it, everything that's come from them in the Marvel Cinematic Universe has been absolute gold. Literally, the top tier Marvel movies that most people regard as the best came from the Russo Brothers and Stephen McFeely. And Christopher Marcus, but he's not really.
And James Gunn, bro. Let's keep in mind. And James Gunn, bro. Don't forget James Gunn, bro. The Guardians of the Galaxy, those movies was fire. You know
the movie is over a year and a half away, and the Russo brothers have a general idea of what they want. They want to play out. Them not knowing what exactly is going to happen in the final act is most likely due to them having multiple ways that it's actually going to end. The Russo brothers already said that.
Y'all think it's because they got to figure out how they going to do Spider-Man 4? Because maybe the ending. I keep forgetting that Spider-Man 4 is coming out before Doomsday now, right? See, that's why I'm saying, bro, that's why I was confused. Now I'm starting to think this Spider-Man 4 might not come out before. It just might not. It might come out after Doomsday still again, bro. They might end up, be prepared, bro. Be prepared for them to switch things around again, like the order. Everything is going to be switched again, bro. I guarantee you, bro.
It only came back because they thought of a very specific idea, a very
they working on Doomsday, bro. I'm thinking they already have.
So have no fear. They have an idea of how they want to end it, but they probably have a few different versions, and they just haven't really finalized what exactly they want to happen. And again,
it could be they trying to figure out after the ending of this movie, what's going to be next? Is it going to jump right into Secret Wars, or is it going to be a movie or a TV show in between that kind of links the movies, that kind of links things together, That's probably why they haven't figured out the ending. They probably trying to figure that out first. Like, are we going to have something come out right after Doomsday? Like, is Doctor Strange 3 going to come out after Doomsday? Or is it going to come out after Secret Wars? You know what I mean? They probably trying to figure it out. That's what I'm saying. It's going to be things they're going to change the order of some things, bro. I'm
comes
pretty
out December
sure
18th, 2026. We're in the middle of 2025 right now. They have plenty of time to shoot the movie, then do reshoots, and get the movie as perfect as they possibly can. So I'm not personally worried about this. If we heard this report 3 months before the movie was about to release, then yeah, I'd be worried. But we have a year and a half. We're okay. The Russo brothers haven't failed us yet. Now, in this other report that we have, again from Daniel Richman, he is stating that right now Marvel Studios is shooting 2 different scenes. One of them is set in the Void, and the other is set in the Fantastic Four's universe that takes place during a baseball game. Now, I want to tackle the Void scene first because I've seen a lot of people.
So is Fantastic Four also gonna be taking place during the time that Doomsday is happening? Because they in a different universe. You know what I mean? So, well, on a different Earth or whatever. So it's possible they can be having their events happening at the same time as Doomsday is happening on our Earth. Is that what is gonna see, bro? They got a lot of writing to do, bro. I ain't even gonna lie to you, bro. So how Fantastic Four ends might be how Avengers Doomsday starts, or a scene that we see from Fantastic Four. What if they kind of show a beginning? They show beginning of a scene happening in Fantastic Four, and then they cut it out. And that cutout part is gonna be put in Doomsday. We're gonna see it from the Doomsday perspective what happened in that scene. Y'all get what I'm saying? These movies that's coming out, bro, gonna be some big movies, bro. These ain't gonna be no movies to play with. We're gonna have to really pay attention to everything happening in these next movies coming up, bro. Because if we don't, we're going to miss out on something.
Actually,
we're going to have too many questions for the next movie.
With the scene, people are talking about a strange and dark realm.
It seems like they're trying to make sure everything comes together.
But I don't think that's what this is referring to. I think this is referring to the Void from Loki and Deadpool and Wolverine. Because I've been stating for a while now that I actually believe the Void is going to be Battleworld. And I've been saying this since Deadpool and Wolverine, where we got the scene where Cassandra Nova said that she was going to use the Time Ripper to destroy every single universe out there until there was nothing left but the Void. And that's pretty much what happens in the Secret Wars comics. Everything gets destroyed, the entire multiverse, and the only thing that's left
is was that supposed to be, that shadow thing?
Battleworld is a combination of a bunch of different universes put together. Well, that's really what the Void is. And when universes get destroyed, remnants of...
I'm not gonna lie, bro. They did my boy Ant-Man dirty. Bro is stretched out. Bro. And he's stuck in this giant form. That's the cold part about it. Is his body in there?
Put together. Well, that's really what the Void is. And when universes get destroyed, remnants of universes end up in the Void. Man. So I think more than likely the scene that Daniel RPK is talking about, that he's heard about, probably has to do with the Void that is at the end of time. However, I don't think they're filming a grand finale huge scene at the Void right now. What I think they're probably doing is filming a Gambit scene. Channing Tatum is confirmed to be in this film. He got a chair. We know Gambit is returning, and the last time that we saw Gambit was him back in the Void in Cassandra.
Bro, weren't we supposed to have like a Gambit movie, bro? Or did they scratch that? I remember something about it. Did I make a video on that? I feel like I did, bro, but I don't think I did. I don't remember. I made a lot of videos, bro. Bro, weren't they talking about a Gambit movie? Bro? And they just scratched it, bro. They had to have scratched, because I ain't been hearing about it at all, bro. Unless it's supposed to be in the X-Men saga, that makes sense. Because I believe he, he was with Wolverine, so I believe he's in the X-Men saga. So we might get the Gambit movie and stuff in the X-Men. I saw some news about Marvel's plans and stuff. They might talk about it now, so I might have to catch that video.
Nova's base. Deadpool pulled some strings with the TVA,
but I want to see a Gambit movie.
At least that's what we believe based off the information that they've given us. And Ryan Reynolds himself shared a post-credit scene that never made it to the movie. Well, it kind of made it. Did I say his name right? Did
I say Jason Tatum? Bro, I'm so sorry, bro. I just called bro Jason Tatum. Bro, I meant to say Channing Tatum. Bro, I feel like I'm saying his name wrong now, bro. I don't even want to say bro from Step Up. Because Step Up is my favorite movie. Now I feel real bad. I don't know bro name. Because that's like low-key my favorite movie. You can ask my brother and everybody, bro. I was on that movie tough. Heavy.
It was on one of the TVA monitors, but it was very hidden and you couldn't see it very well until Ryan Reynolds shared it on his own social medias. Gambit is in the Void in Cassandra Nova's lair. Nobody else is there, but then a portal opens up, apparently via a sling ring. At least that's what it looks like. But here's the deal. Most of the general audience, not the hardcore Marvel fans like us, probably won't see that scene before going into Avengers Doomsday. So they'll have to kind of touch on that scene a little bit when we get into the film. They'll have to
So I've been trying to get into this encore.
Have to show us that Gambit is indeed alive. He is back in the void, but he gets taken somewhere. They're gonna show us that, and he most likely ends up in the X-Men universe. Again, he's confirmed to be in the movie, so they're gonna have to show us this. So that's why I think they're most likely filming a scene in the void about Gambit. That's most likely what's going to happen. But Sentry is going to be in this film, so perhaps they do kind of go back into his.
Bro, knowing Sentry is supposed to be Marvel's Superman, bro, really got me hot that at the end of Thunderbolts, bro was just sitting in a corner writing a book and he wasn't doing nothing. Bro, you cannot be that strong and you just, bro, I get it though. You know, he got an alter ego he can't control. But still, bro, you gotta do something, bro, because you Superman. You just Superman in Marvel, bro. That's messed up. When you think about it, bro. Bro got that much power and he just decides to do nothing. He just like, bro, I'm not gonna help nobody. I'm not gonna save nobody, but I want to be a part of the Avengers though. Like what, bro? Bro, everybody need to run his fade while he's at his weakest right now, bro, because he deserves it.
But to me, the Gambit scene makes more sense. Go ahead and let me know your thoughts about this. Now, the other scene taking place in the Fantastic Four's universe during a baseball game kind of means that Galactus didn't destroy their universe, unless this is going to be a flashback. I'm excited for this movie, and it very well could be. But given what we've heard, the post-credit scene to the Fantastic Four is going to be, it sounds like their universe is going to survive. And if Doom really does end up taking Franklin Richards, I think we see this happen in Avengers Doomsday. I actually think the post-credit scene of the Thunderbolts is most likely taking place during the events of Avengers Doomsday. And it wouldn't be the first time that Marvel gave us a post-credit scene that was actually a scene that happens in a future movie. And let's remember, the Russo Brothers
y'all think is in this shit, bro. Y'all think Dr. Doom is in the ship? Or do y'all think the Fantastic Four family is in the ship? Or do y'all think Baby Franklin is in the ship by himself with a message? He got sent with a message or something like that. Because you can't forget, Baby Franklin, bro, is getting chased by some of the strongest people in the universe, bro. He got ops, bro, before he even know how to say some words, you know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't put it, bro, I wouldn't be mad if they decide to send this baby off to another universe and be like, bro, we know there's other heroes and stuff there that most likely take care of our baby, bro. So we just gonna send them over there until we can go to them. You know what I'm saying? I honestly think Baby Franklin's in this shit, bro. I really do.
Ones who made the Thunderbolts post-credits.
I think he in there by himself.
The director of the Thunderbolts,
he's getting sent there to be protected.
Now, what could actually be going on at this very specific baseball game? That's anybody's guess. It could be a flashback, or it could just simply be them trying to give us a different perspective from the Fantastic Four's universe for an incursion that is about to happen. If Doom really does go to their universe, which is what we're hearing does happen in the post-credit scene, then by the laws defined in Multiverse of Madness by the other Reed Richards, John Krasinski's, that would confuse and destabilize the Fantastic Four's universe, opening it up for an incursion. And we are assuming...
You know what I want to know? I want to know if Reed Richards and them open up like a portal, or I said portal, open up like a portal or a dimension or something like that to the multiverse, like to be able to, you know, go across the multiverse and stuff like that. I wonder if we're going to see them open up something, or we're going to see... Yeah, I want to see if they open something up, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
That the end of Avengers Doomsday does end with the destruction of the multiverse. That way, Secret Wars, we get God Emperor Doom and Battleworld. So showing us the multiverse from the perspective of other universes as incursions start to happen and the entire multiverse gets destroyed, I think that's actually a really good idea and something that they should show us. Because we do know that the Fantastic Four end up in the main 616 timeline. So unless it's a flashback, in which it could be, it is probably just showing that universe's perspective of everything that is going on, which would be at this point in time the destruction of the multiverse. But that's what I think. Go ahead and let me know what you think about all of this in the comments down below.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm excited for the script update, bro. I don't mind them changing the script, bro, especially if they in production. And we know Marvel can put out some very good movies, bro. Maybe this is how they do it. Maybe when they was putting out the movies that a lot of people didn't like, they weren't doing this type of stuff like, you know, filming, getting in production before the script was done and stuff. Maybe they weren't doing that. Maybe they weren't doing that, bro. Granted, maybe they was. Maybe they just didn't have good writers at the time. You know what I'm saying? It could be that too. But I do think that we should give them we should have some faith in Marvel, bro. We should have some faith in Marvel, bro.